Hi guys, it's the FP1, FP2. That's a Friday practice in Barcelona. Today is Friday. It doesn't seem like we had a very good. Doesn't even seem like a weekend. It doesn't seem like a Formula One weekend in Nigeria, and it was a great one. I think Ferrari brought a lot of upgrades. They brought the front wings, which is very revised and a little bit technical. They've added up some of the things we've seen on the grid before from Mercedes, from McLaren, Williams. The end plate looks different, but it's a little bit technical. They brought the a new side pod, a new some new front floor vanes, new floor body. They brought a lot of upgrades, but in FP1 we didn't really see how those FP1 FP2 we didn't really see how it translates to great speed. They still look slow. I think for me they look a little bit like a tenth slower than before. So I think they still need to get the upgrades. Tomorrow on the race and maybe the next race they would see the learnings, because Barcelona is one of the places in which we have the testing of the season. So bringing upgrades to Barcelona makes a whole lot of sense for them, and to learn from it, probably benefit or take their learnings into the season. Most times we've seen that when Ferrari brings upgrade, they don't really it doesn't really translate into what we think it should, as in performance. It takes time because their in-season upgrades takes time to transform into performance. So let's see what they're able to do with those upgrades. But the FP1 we saw in FP1, probably should I say, a resurgence of George Russell. He came in FP1, did a good job, though we had about 7 to 8 rookies featuring in FP1. Dino Beganovic, Poloron, Leonardo Fornanoli, who was the best of the rest, in the best of the who was the best of the young guys in Barcelona, Catalonia. So it looks great seeing how these guys, those young guns are performing. I don't see any of them coming into F1 until probably 28, 29. But it's a good one for them. Iwasa, not new. Um, the the young Williams driver, we saw he struggled with electrical issue, was unable to come up at all. So it was a good one, but not so good setup for them. Then the FP2, we saw a great FP2. We saw the the McLarens back on top with Lando Norris, George Russell sandwiched in between them with about 10 hundredths of seconds away um, from Lando Norris. Then Oscar Piastri 5 tenths away. Charles Leclerc, Oscar Piastri about 500 tenths away. Charles Leclerc 3 tenths away, close to 4 tenths. Kim Antonelli 5 tenths. Max Verstappen 8 tenths. Avril Lindblad 9 tenths. Lewis Hamilton in ninth with over a second and 3 tenths away from Lando Norris. So I still think Ferrari needs to have a lot of learnings. It's going to be a very interesting Barcelona Grand Prix. We're back on a normal track, not an hybrid nor a street track. So we should see the performance grow. Also, the turn 10 was a very difficult one for most of the team. Max Verstappen struggled all through. He had his own struggle all through. In FP1, FP2 he struggled, and they had decent speed, but were able to go into the lower 1 minute 15, which makes sense. Um, as of next year, we're going to be having new technical directives. Yes, we're going to be having new technical directives. It shows that we're thinking it's going 60-40, but probably they're doing 56-44 or 58-32. Then we go probably 60-40 in 28, and they're thinking of bringing V8 back. Even the F1 FIA F1 um, Mohammed Ben Sulayem is saying they need to reduce the cars to by 150 kg to make them lighter. The engine will go to V8, become lighter. So let's see how that works out. So Pierre Gasly has been promoted to P3. It took F1 a whole month, a whole week, sorry, to to look at the footage and promote him, which they could have done for every other person that suffered, like Lewis Hamilton, 5 seconds, that also put his teammate um, Charles Leclerc in a difficult position. Some people say Charles Leclerc, if they were Charles Leclerc, they would have come out of the car to show their annoyance in Monaco, which doesn't make sense. But I think it's going to be a very interesting one this season between them. Charles Leclerc is now using the carbon industry brake disc. Let's see how it works for him, though. You can see that he had a good one in FP1, FP2. FP3 tomorrow, they should be up and running from the learnings they've had today. Other teams too, from their learnings, they should be up and running. So let's see what they're able to do. But it's going to be a very interesting one coming into FP3 and qualifying tomorrow. If you don't want to miss the qualifying, more analysis tomorrow. I love you guys. Bye. Cheers.